The regular season reaches its final stage today at Rudd Field, and it all comes down to this. Elon and Charleston both closing out the regular season and fighting to finish strong as the postseason looms. Hello and welcome into the broadcast booth one final time in the 2025 regular season. Grace Stetler lucky alongside Mia Zebley. And Mia, this one's more than a finale. It's a statement game for both teams.
And while seeding may vary, the bottom line is simple. One team moves on to the CAA tournament, and the other ends their season today.
Well, before we set the stage here, let's zoom in on today's players to watch. Let's start with the away Cougars. The 5'4" senior forward has started in all 16 games, scored 5 goals, and if that's not enough, is tied for the most shots taken in conference play. Mia, Emma Warner has got to be on watch.
The Vermont native is someone who already knows how to find success against this Elon team. Last year in the regular season matchup, Wenar tallied 1 goal and 1 assist over the Phoenix. This year, she ties for the team leading goals, with her most recent coming in their 1-0 win over Hofstra last Sunday. In the Cougars' last 2 games, Wenar has played all 90 minutes, showing just how vital she is to Charleston's success.
Let's flip the script and look down the lineup for the Phoenix today. There have been a number of key players for this maroon and gold squad, but the junior midfielder from Raleigh has been the key in ignition for her team. With 5 goals and 6 assists and 21 shots on the year, Gabby Hoshak looks to keep the fire coming today.
Third on this Phoenix squad in points, Hoshak has shown her ability to create opportunities for her teammates. She's tied for first in assists, with 4 of them coming in the last 4 games for the Phoenix. And when she is given the opportunity, she knows how to make them pay. On Thursday against Hampton, she scored the first goal of the game off a free kick and assisted the game winner in the 76th minute. In a game with the season on the line, the Cougars will need to find a way to shut down number 27.
And we welcome now Rudd Field as everything gets set and ready for the final game of the regular season. Well, I need some coaches really quick. Take a quick look first at the Elon head coach in Neil Payne. It's his 7th season as Elon's head coach. In the fall of 2024, it marks that 7th season. Has really led his team to an excellent year of success, Mia.
And it's an excellent year of success, but for Neil Payne, he's had multiple of these past years with Elon making that CAA championship. He's had the experience and he knows what he needs to do today to get them back there.
Well, we'll take a quick look now at the opposing coach in head coach Christian Mitchner. Christian Mitchner in his 16th season as the head coach of College of Charleston women's soccer program. He directed the Cougars to a total record of 107-139. 17 student athletes gathering a total of 32 all-conference honors. So he's got a lot of wins and success under his belt as well.
The leadership for him as a coach, but also that same success we can see on the Cougars sideline. They also made that championship last year, took down Elon in the regular season. Elon came away with the win in the tournament. So both these teams really fighting to get back there and to go against each other again.
Well, a lot of postseason implications. We will break everything down for you again. Grace Stetler and Mia Zebley here for the final game of the regular season. Can't believe we've already marked the complete full season here at Rudd Field, but nonetheless, we are back. Both teams are ready, and it's going to be a gritty game, I can assume, based on the history between the two teams and what looks ahead in the future.
I mean, both teams want to win, but we even saw it there while they were doing lineups. The second it was over, both teams sprinting to their sideline, cheering, jumping, celebrating. There's going to be high energy coming in and a lot of great soccer to be played.
As we mentioned, everything gets set. The Phoenix faithful are out, a couple of coats on. A bit of a chill here on a Sunday afternoon at Rudd Field. So happy to have you alongside us as we get things started for the finale of the 2025 season. And everything with a bit of a hesitation gets started. And before we get set here, let's set the field a bit with some starting lineups. For Elon, Katie Bisgrove in goal, Ashley Brio, Megan Dwyer, Grace Gelhaus, Issa Murdoch, Ava Hellner, Jessica Hill, Dan Green, Alexis Pierce, Miranda Dumouriez, and Gabby Hoshak. That's your Phoenix starting lineup. And to flip the script, you look at the other side. In goal is Ainsley Chun, Lily Ray, Bubbles Dever, Madiria Guazdo, Emma Stankiudis, Bella Antonio, Emma Warner, our player to watch, Avery Nasetta, Faith Slimmer, Maggie Heffernan, and Casey Malone. That's everybody who took the field. I mean, a lot of rotations, though, I'm going to imagine, as this is going to be an all-effort 45-minute halves.
Both these teams have talented bench players that are going to come in, bring that energy, and especially in a game where you're really going to be trying to get that win, trying to get those goals, you know people are going to get tired, so having as many people as you can to help you come away with a win.
Well, fresh legs are definitely going to be really important, right? How can you kind of keep your team with that full energy that they started with? We'll mention it again, but it's really been about just how they were coming off of the bench, as we're actually going to have our first corner here of the game. Early offense from Elon, something that head coach Neil Payne is happy to see. And that one sails in, kind of flies above that top post and bounces a couple of times. Wasn't able to set that one up exactly the way they were going to want to see it happen. But again, early offense, really you can't take anything away from that. And they were able to get the ball all the way down. Good job by Elon early on.
And as much as you can keep the ball in your own attacking half, that is what you want to do, especially being able to maintain possession, get some of those early looks, and really make Charleston have to build out of the back.
As Chun sends that one out, we'll talk a little bit about what did both teams just do, coming both off of their respective games. So Elon women's soccer, they defeated Hofstra, College of Charleston defeated Hofstra for their last home game of the season, 1-0. They really did a good job of securing themselves at home for that last time.
And that was the win that they needed, especially coming in with the points that they had, really trying to get back to being tied for that third place spot. So that extra goal coming late in that game, really giving them an opportunity here today to make the postseason.
And we talked about her post game, but Emma Warner, she took a game-high 5 shots on the pitch with 3 on target. So she's coming off of a fantastic game of her own. And, she was the implication, right, in that last game. She made the difference. So I'm sure all of the girls in the maroon and gold, 2 very similar jerseys, they're looking at each other saying, hey, she's the player we got to keep an eye on. We'll take a look on the other side now. Elon was able to extend a CAA win streak to 4 at Hampton. They grabbed that 3-2 win over at Hampton as well. A lot of offense between two teams as an early approach and attempt, but Bisgrove secures it. Really good game, though, for Elon heading into this final home game of the season.
They were able to get up 2-0 in that first half, ends up getting tied 2-2, but they never take their foot off the gas and are able to come away with that 3-2 win.
I can imagine, again, for Coach Payne and squad that it was an impressive win because of, all right, you're tied, you're down, now you're leading, can you hold on? They had to really work every single phase of the game there. That prepares you for a final game in a home season stand, right? I mean, that is everything that you could want as you begin to hopefully approach that postseason mark.
And this is a team that knew they had some work to do, but were confident of their ability. They had a great record, not in the CAA, starting a little bit rougher once they got to conference play, but even talking to some of the players, they said we have to win these games, and they knew they can, and they've shown they've been able to.
A little bit of back and forth. You can see both defenses are really just working both sides here. I mean, honestly, the approach has been completely out as Bisgrove is all the way out of her own respective box. So I think both teams are trying not to play all too comfortable, but use the resume they built this season to really kind of find their footing here on Rudd Field. And again, Bisgrove all the way out to secure it. All right, we'll talk while we have the break now, Mia. Postseason implications. There's a lot going on, so kind of talk us through a little bit of if Elon wins, what were to happen. Let's start there.
So we think about it, the CAA has split into that North and South division, so 3 teams from each will make it. So far, UNC Wilmington and William & Mary have both already secured a spot. The third spot will be the winner of today's game. If you think about seeding, it relies a little bit on some of the other outcomes. If William & Mary does win today, they will clinch that number 2 seed. But there are some opportunities where one of these teams can have it. Elon can clinch if they win over Charleston, and William & Mary either loses or ties. Or if Elon comes away with a tie today and a loss by William & Mary, they get it. Now, Charleston on the other end can get the number 2 seed if they beat Elon, and again, William & Mary has that win, has that draw or loss. So, again, both these teams fighting to make the tournament. William & Mary, the ones holding on to their number 2 seed.
So a lot going on in that scenario. Mia, you really nailed, I think, every single level perfectly. We will remind you as the game progresses a little bit of what these implications look like, show you some standings at halftime as well, and we'll keep you posted on what that William and Mary game looks like, as that is going to be very important as our 1 o'clock kick also keeps going on. As Charleston tries to break towards the inside, but again, that Elon backline remains strong as Galhouse begins to move herself up the field. She puts the speed on every play. She's become very consistent throughout the season, Mia.
And she's been a player who, when she started her career, was playing more that midfield forward spot. Last season, a little bit early on, played more that defensive role, but in a game that you want to win, you can see her not starting at defense and moving up like she normally does, but really starting all the way up in that midfield to try to get something going and really add pressure to that Charleston back line.
Well, Dan Green had the opportunity there, but it was hit out of bounds by Lily Ray. That's going to give Elon another opportunity from the corner here. Early offense yet again. We'll have to keep saying it, but it's really going to be about every play mattering, right? It's going to really come down to who's just going to want it more. Who can break that first? The question is, can Elon do it this early on? It's going to be an Avon Hellner who sends it in towards the middle, but that is just booted on out by Chun. A little bit of fancy footwork between both players. Hellner tried to break around, but it's that defense right now from Lily Ray. She has really worked right along this left-hand side, holding the fort down. Galhouse tries to slide that one in there, but a really good back line again. I wonder how many times we're going to see this, and you almost also wonder how long are you going to sit at a 0-0 hold, right? Who is really going to make that first move offensively?
When you think about that matchup, like you were saying, on this left sideline, Elon likes to build up out of that left. They normally try to do most of their attacks on this left side with Galhouse, so it'll be interesting to see how that matchup is and if they can get something going from the other.
A bit of a breakaway here for Elon offensively. Can they turn it into something? Chun slides out, but Galhouse shakes her head. She could have had it with one more tap. Really good defense there from Charleston, but excellent offense and moving the ball forward from the Phoenix.
Galhouse did a great job getting in front of that cross. Looked like her body was just angled a little bit too far. Goes off her toe, not able to get her foot around it, and sends it just wide.
Well, we have the second. Ansley Chun, she started all 16 games this season, allowed 17 goals, but she's made 44 saves, a career-high 8 saves in one game. It was their season opener against South Carolina, so she really has been a staple from the beginning of the season, the first whistle of the season. You can imagine she probably wants to bookend it exactly like she started it for that 2025 season.
And that was something we knew coming in her sophomore season now, but had preseason All-CAA honorable mention, so was recognized across the league for as much as she's done for those Cougars, and has really shown that she deserves that this year.
Really good defense here yet again from the back line of Elon, but that time led by Dan Green. Really put that one-on-one effort on some Charleston offense and shut that down quick. Tries to send this one in, but really good job by the girls in the white top with the maroon numbering. In case you're getting them mixed up, it's pretty easy to do with the same color scheme they got going on. Elon is wearing that white top with the big ELON across the chest, and the Cougars are represented on their back. It'll say Cougars. So look for the girls in the maroon. They're representative Charleston. Flip the script. That's Elon in their white jerseys. A throw in from that left side, but just trying to send it out is Elon, keeping it out of the danger zone early. Well, we talked about Chun in goal on that side, but Katie Bisgrove, Mia, I mean, honestly, time and time again, she has been a staple as Galhouse tries to break a little 2-on-3 action. She gets past the first defender, tries to do a little 1-2 move. Can she put another move on? Is bumped late. Is anything called? It doesn't look like it. I think there's a lot of frustration here as she was completely bumped from behind by a Charleston defender.
When you're in a tight game, as a ref, you don't want to be the one who dictates it. You want to let them play. But Gelhaus beat the first 2 defenders, looked to get hit from behind. Everyone on the sideline, including Coach Payne, really screaming for something to be called, but nothing is, and they keep going.
Look, Gelhaus was working with rhythm. She beat the first defender, moved in near the second defender, and I think she thought she had it clear, which that's why it looked like it was a bit of a bump. But again, nonetheless, nothing was called. That got Neil Payne and his crew active on the sideline early on, though.
And I think that shows the skill of Gelhaus. When you come in scouting, you know she's left-footed, so they're trying to bait her to go down that way, but instead, she ends up being able to take that touch, use both feet, and get around those 2 defenders. So a great job by her to get herself inside into a good position.
She's a player who's very versatile. She plays a lot of defense, but also a lot of offense, right? She can chase down almost any single defender, anyone on offense. That's her pure speed, right? But then she's got that left-footed action. That's what's that allows her to put some moves on the inside, right? That's a lot of players don't have that. But now while we have the second and there's no breakaway, Katie Bisgrove, we got to go back to her. She's really been somebody, though, from last year to this year who's done incredible. Made a career-high 8 saves at VCU, again, the opener of the season. So both goalies really doing a good job at the beginning of the season. Want to do the same here at the end.
And last season, she was on that CAA all-rookie team. She had 10 wins, which are the second most by a Phoenix freshman in this D1 area, really showing how much of the success she was to really build off that team last year. This year, she hasn't let in more than 2 goals in any game, really showing her consistency. Only 12 on the whole season, so really just someone in that back line that Phoenix can rely on.
And I think she works really well with the girls who are in front of her, right? She works well to communicate and work almost around with them, right? Say, hey, cover this area and I got behind you. That's really key in knowing you got a backline that's going to support you.
And I always say that position with that communication is more about that quarterback. And you think about it, her being the quarterback of her flag football team in high school where they won that state championship.
She's got a resume that just keeps going on and on and on. We could talk about it continually throughout the broadcast, but for today, her goal is just to limit anything coming inside and hold the fort down for the Elon defense. Offensively, Elon trying to get something going here. They've had 2 opportunities from the corner, 4 shots they've taken so far. I mean, they've definitely had a bit more of some offensive productivity. And we've talked about this. Something that's really important also is the time in which they played. Elon actually played closer to this game than when College of Charleston played. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the last time College of Charleston played back in that game was the 19th, so almost a week or so ago.
Yeah, you have Charleston playing on the 19th. That should have been what Elon had as well, but their game against Hampton ended up getting postponed. Had to play that on Thursday, so a little bit of a shorter week turnaround for them.
And you wonder what impact that has, right? Does that keep it fresh? Do you come in with a bit more of some tired legs? There's a lot that you have to come in with as your coaching staff. As this one is sailed towards the inside, but again, there's that back line really doing its job and working hard there. That time led by number 22 in Alexis Pierce. A battle in the corner for Pierce. Nothing called, though. Gonna stay College of Charleston possession.
Pierce really playing that back line, trying to keep it away from going to a corner. Saw the few touches, was able to keep it down, but just sent it out to set up this corner.
Well, the first corner now for College of Charleston. 2 again in Elon's name. Can they execute? This one sails way on over and right into the hands of Bisgrove off of a tap of the back line from her Elon defense.
More of a last-ditch effort by the Charleston player, just trying to get anything on it, but Bisgrove is able to make that easy save and really just set up Elon here now to take a deep breath and really work out the back.
And that's going to be the big thing. How can you play the full 2 halves all the way through, right? Because it's definitely not going to be a game in which one half matters more. We've seen now both teams really work the all phases of an entire match, right? We've seen them work playing from behind as Gelhaus tries to break this one through. can't, and Charleston will remain possession, but we've seen them do this, right? We've seen them work playing from behind, playing with the lead, playing when tied. Elon's really good at doing those phases, but so is Charleston.
And you think about Charleston's early season schedule, they were trying to set up for this. They play South Carolina, they play Texas, they play Wake Forest. These teams that, even though they ended up being losses, were against these harder competitions to build that confidence and figure out exactly what you need to do in these type of games where it matters for playoffs.
Well, Charleston's one of those teams, too, that they entered today's season finale with that 8-6-2 mark on the season. They were 4-3-1 in conference play, but to Mia's point, all of those out-of-conference games really helped them to build their resume as a whole. Tries to tap it inside. That sails way high. Sent Bisgrove flying, but probably one of the closer offensive chances we've seen Charleston have thus far, but a couple of feet too high of that crossbar.
When you think about the Charleston Cougars, they get a lot of shots off. They're able to make those, and sometimes when you say, okay, they're getting a lot of shots off, they're not great, but they're able to strike that they're great. It would have been great placement, just a little bit too high, but making Bisgrove have to react. Elon really has to make sure that they're not letting any of the Cougars have a lot of time, especially at the top of the 18.
Gelhaus sends that one down. She's really good at reading so well. You look at that communication there. There's a perfect example. That's that Brio-Gelhaus connection. And I think a foul might have been called. It's going to stop play here for a second. If I'm not wrong, actually first foul of the entire game. So a very clean game, especially for it being the last match of the season. We thought that some aggressive play would come in, but a really good job, as you see it on our replay cam here from Elon Sports Vision. Great crew helping us out with this game. Really good job, though, right, to just kind of remain in her spot.
Iguozo really just got the clip of that. The ref was going to let Gelhaus play on, but the touch just a little bit too far, so instead able to set up our player to watch here.
Sends that one in the inside, takes 1, 2, 3 taps and just misses the mark. It looks like it was going to be an opportunity there for Elon as it took a couple of tricky bounces towards the inside. Nonetheless, though, it's going to be another Elon corner with that one going out on Charleston's foot.
And that's something Elon has done so well this season, is making those opportunities off the free positions, off those free kicks. Again, great opportunity, nothing to come from it, but sets up this corner.
The sails towards the inside again, taps a couple of the back line from Charleston. That time, though, going to go out on number 27 in our player to watch of Hoshak. I think two really, though, good opportunities, again, from Elon, right, showing that they have urgency to score. I think what's interesting is neither team is sitting back and playing more of a conservative, hey, we're going to wait and then we're going to try to work our way in. Aggressive and push all the way through early on.
When you think about these, both teams pretty similar in those stat comparisons. Elon, 31 goals on the year, Charleston, 30. But Charleston takes more shots. So if you play back, you don't want to give them those opportunities because they're going to be able to put some of them away. So Elon, instead of just playing back defensively, is really adding that pressure on the offensive end. So Charleston has to adapt and maybe get a little out of their rhythm that they normally play.
And coming into Sunday, the Cougars have scored 30 goals this season. So that was the third most among CAA teams. So they really know how to get things done, right? They lead the conference with, like you said, 289 shot attempts. That was, again, coming into today. So it makes a difference, right, when you look at it as a whole to say, Charleston's not afraid to just keep putting up shots. They're going to take them and take them and take them. And I'm sure the conversation between the coaching staff and Katie Bisgrove was, you got to be ready for any of those to come towards you. Really good defense, though, just to try to keep that out of any area. And Maggie Heffernan, she really just slid into that one and let it fly. Throw in here from Elon. Grace Gelhaus is the one to receive it. But there's that Charleston defense again. A really interesting matchup we got to keep an eye on is right here between Gelhaus and Ray. It's really working that left corner as there it is again, right? Gelhaus comes all the way down into that corner, but Ray is there with that defense.
And again, that's that speed. Ray trying to more contain. Again, Gelhaus already a little bit in front of her, so just making sure she can keep her out wide, make it have to be the cross instead of any more type of being able to beat her inside and get inside the 18-yard box. So great job by Ray to read that and get a foot on the cross as well.
Well, again, this one sent towards the inside, but just a cluster of white and maroon jerseys. Nothing able to get done, but Elon will keep possession in their hands. A quick send towards the inside, but again, Chun is just there. She kind of sits, comes out, and just waits for that one. But a couple of those attempts from the corner have really just been a sail-in. They drop, and you just kind of wait for that cluster to form. There's that kind of overwhelming defense that we've seen.
You say you have Brio and you have Gelhaus playing a little bit higher for the Phoenix, but most of the other midfielders are dropping farther back when they lose possession. So in situations like that where you're looking for that second chance opportunity, you don't have as many people to attack. So it makes it hard being able to try to read it when it's in the air to get on the other side of it.
Both teams playing very poised under this so-called pressure, right, that I'm sure each of them are feeling. They're playing very calm, cool, and collected. Gelhaus tries to surge forward to keep it in bounds. She will. She's going to work this left corner again, but there it is in Ray. I mean, this is a matchup. They are a magnet to one another, and Ray is a magnet to wherever Gelhaus is going to go.
And you see Gelhaus on those last two crosses trying to keep it a little lower, because a lot of times when you send it in the air, it's easier to dictate where it's going off a header. Sometimes if you know there's already going to be a lot of bodies in the box, a foot may send it the other way, so trying to keep it on the line, but Ray doing a great job defensively.
Sent towards the inside, but that time it's going to be a cross, and it just doesn't get where they need it to go. Dwyer's the one to last touch it. So Charleston is going to grab possession on that one. I mean, offensively, Elon has definitely held the ball a little bit more. You can even see it on some of the tracks on the field. There's a lot more on the left-hand side than right now there is on the right, and I think that shows the push from Elon, outside of the statistics, that they're just trying to get something going or rocket something in early on. This one sent in all the way down to the right-hand side. A little bit of movement for Charleston. Can they make something happen? A quick tap towards the inside. Couple of moves back and forth between Slimmer. Slimmer tries to send it in, sends it to Bisgrove, who taps it on out. There's Bisgrove's versatility. She can stand and wait, but she can send herself like Superwoman too.
And a great job by Bisgrove to see it. Again, Slimmer put on a few of those moves, had some time outside the top of the box, ends up getting it off her right foot. Great on the ground save by Bisgrove. You never know if it's going to bounce, but she did a great job keeping in front of her and pushing it out.
She's really good at maintaining her composure, right? She sits and waits instead of tries to anticipating it, waits for it to come towards her and then makes the move. And that's that veteran play in Katie Bisgrove. We talked offense for Elon, let's do it for Charleston. This one sent towards the inside on a corner. A couple of taps, but that's not going to result where Charleston wants it to go. Last tap from the Cougars, Elon's ball.
And again, we saw a little bit different, about 5 different players coming up for Charleston in that middle. 2 of their defenders, a defensive midi, really trying to get as many people in the box as they can on a great opportunity on a corner.
But you're 100% right. They're clustering right towards the middle because I think they see that both teams are going to play in a very high up pressure situation. So how many players can they just shove towards that middle of the box to get anything going or perhaps a lucky tap? Still sitting at 0-0 as we dip right below 20 minutes now. It's been a game where we've seen glimmers of some offense, just saw one there, and a lot of defense from both teams, playing up, playing pressure, and they're just playing textbook soccer right now.
And a lot of times in this game, you're seeing both those great offense, great defense. It's who not makes the mistake first, but lets up for that second, because you know both these teams are going to get those chances. So making sure they're staying aggressive, but again, keeping their composure and being able to find a way to execute.
A foul from Elon there in number 5. It was Megan Dwyer, slid underneath and just kind of tripped up the offensive woman in Charleston. This one is a really deep boot towards the inside, but there's the back line of Elon just trying to move it. Katie Bisgrove's just trying to send her hands up and say, keep pushing it up, as Gelhaus again is going to run this left-hand side. Puts a couple of moves on and tricks out her defender. She's really working the left-hand side. This one sent in for a cross, but a little too far over. But I think that is what we're going to see. Let's just keep running the tape on it. It's going to be a couple of taps, and they're really going to work that left-hand side in Gelhaus.
And again, Ray able to get herself on that one. On the other side, not defending Gelhaus, but able to get her foot on it, be able to get it out. Hit Brio, wasn't exactly ready for that second ricochet, so ends up sending it out of bounds for the Charleston goal kick.
Well, that time it was Guazdo who had to come all the way over and really work the left-hand side. So I think they definitely had to keep her in mind when they look at, hey, who's going to surge forward to send the ball all the way up. Playing a couple of taps back and forth here as Hoshak is the one who puts the spin move on. She's just trying to work the ball all the way around. See the field here. Really the first time, Mia, that we're seeing Elon work it all the way back to set up their field ahead.
And again, for them, if they can keep possession, they can get something working. A turnover here, though, gets them a little out of position.
And it's Bubbles Dever who is running with the ball, tries to do something there, but it was a really good, almost slide tackle tap by Jessica Hill, who was able to get that one out of bounds and just stop any bit of momentum.
Jess Hill has done that all season, started all of the past games. Normally one of those presence on the back line who plays most of the time. You've seen her playing 90 minutes in 12 different games this year, and the games she didn't were all still more than 70. So someone who has played, has the experience, and someone that this Phoenix team can rely on back there.
Charleston's got the throw in from the right-hand side here, a deep throw in as well. They'll actually keep possession here. And it's in Slimmer who's got it again. She's the one who put on that really close shot on Bisgrove. A quick tap in towards the inside, but Bisgrove just sails on out, collides actually with one of her teammates, but really good by Bisgrove to see it coming and hop on that.
And a great job by her to come out. We saw Antonio kind of leap in there. Bisgrove ends up running into Pierce a little bit, but again, the right move to make, especially to go out and attack the ball.
Bisgrove's so good on that creativity level, right? Just kind of reading and seeing, not waiting too much. Really good move there from number 7 in Caroline Folks, one of the players for Charleston who did just sub in. A better defense here from Elon as, again, this left-hand side is going to be worked. But it was really good defense there from Guazdo, who came up before Gelhaus could move.
Again, that's what we said was going to happen. The Phoenix attacking this left side. Gelhaus has the speed, so they know they have to send 1-2 people, someone to go for the ball, someone to kind of play back more in that holding position. But the Cougars just doing a great job being able to limit Gelhaus on any opportunities.
They're going to have to make some adjustments, though, right? Because I think the College of Charleston is starting to recognize that as well. Hey, they're really going to work the left-hand side because she's so productive there, looking to do a little bit of their own productivity. Can they get it going? No, they won't. And that's because of, again, that back line. It's not always on the inside, Mia, but it's how they stop the run in Elon's defense.
And a lot of these defenders for the Phoenix will come up on offensive opportunities. They'll help attack the outside, but they always do a great job of making sure that whoever is back knows they're the last lines of defense and can really stop any type of momentum that the other team has.
Gelhaus comes across the middle now, is tapped on over to her teammate in Dan Green. Almost working in a circle here, trying to get something going and then break towards the inside. They won't, though, and there's really good defense yet again. Tries to get across here, but it's that back line of Charleston that just keeps coming into play. Bodies are bumping. It's kind of, the colliding is here. You can see that it's not, you want to almost look at it as a man-to-man defense. People are really just sticking to their player here as a whole, and I think that's just trying to limit any space for any kind of, we'll call it again, productivity to go on with any of the passing.
You can see the Phoenix were really trying to look for some of those through balls, not really force any of those outside shots, but Charleston is playing calm, they're playing back, they're waiting till the Phoenix make those decisions and reacting instead of opening up any areas for the Phoenix to play through.
We mentioned that College of Charleston is a team that likes to take a lot of shots. They came in, I'll mention it again, this Sunday with 289 shots under their belt. Elon only takes about 191. They've taken that many throughout the season coming into today. So it's been interesting to see that offensively, Elon's actually been a little bit more active towards their end than Charleston. Good defense, though, by the Phoenix. Issa Murdoch tries to sail all the way up from a pass in Gelhaus, but again, it's just the breakup from Guazdo. Neil Payton's trying to direct some traffic from the sideline here. Tell him to cut across. Really good move there put on from Gabby Hoshak. Tricked her up and just used the opposite foot. It was a tap 1, 2, 3, and she went on through.
She's the player that has that creativity, especially in the midfield. She always does a great job keeping her head up, looking and making that decision before she gets the ball to know what she has to do. And it's come in great moves and great passes.
Well, it's anticipation too. You know your defender's going to go one way. All right, I'll just use my other foot. Let me use this foot, get it over to the other, and send it on through. Not the ending that Elon wanted, but a really good break towards the middle. And again, Elon just trying to see the field as a whole here, as now we hit 12 minutes. Still 0-0 your score here in the final game of regular season for both teams. A game that's going to mean a lot in postseason implications. A bit of movement here from number 7 in Caroline Folks, who sends it in, and Bisgrove yet again does the same exact thing. Comes off of her fingertips, but it's like she's got glue on them, sails it on out.
And overall, a great move by Folks. You see her going against Pierce here. She makes a little move as if she's going inside. Pierce just opens her body up a little, makes it hard for her to return and try to get a step on it. So Folks, a great job dragging it from her left to her right and getting a great opportunity with that low place shot.
Well, and that opportunity gives Charleston the opportunity here now with another corner as we dip now below 12 minutes. We really thought it would be 0-0, and it truly is. Been a close game all the way through. Who's going to break first is the question, as this one is just sailed completely on out. Really nothing that could have been done there from the Cougars.
And the Phoenix had dropped all 11 players back inside the box, so with nowhere to really get it out, they were just trying to set it free, make the Cougars go back, have to re-get possession of the ball so they can have time to break back out and get their defense aligned.
Well, and as we get closer to the halftime break, make sure to stick around as we have a package on Elon Soccer's own Abby Brinkner and her journey to coming to Elon Soccer, why she chose it, now what is her story really all about. Make sure you stick around and take a look at that package. Mia and I will be back to talk about statistics, standings. We'll run you through those postseason implications again, and we'll actually update you also on what William and Mary looks like, as well as that game is also important even after these two teams finish up here. And Katie Bisgrove here with the opportunity to kind of take her time, right? Set up her team, look at what's ahead of her. She'll boot this one right below the midline. Really good job there from number 12 in Ava Hellner to really fend off her defender, box her out, as Gelhaus is going to put the speed on. It's actually going to go out of bounds, though, on Charleston. Offensive opportunity for Elon.
You could see Malone was really trying to just box Gelhaus out, let the ball go out of bounds. But with Gelhaus's speed, she knew she had to try to make a play. So a great job by Gelhaus to know she might not get the pass that was intended for her, but she can make sure that the Phoenix can get an opportunity if they hold the Cougars down in their own defensive zone.
Well, as Dan Green comes out, Jess Beck, the sophomore from New York, will come in. Tries to make her a bit of an impact with the 9 minutes left in this first half. Galhouse just softly tosses this one into her teammate Murdoch.
And for the Phoenix, that means that they're adding some more offensive pressure. You have some different forwards, some different midfielders coming in, so making sure that the Cougars don't start to get complacent, know what Galhouse is going to do, but now have to account for two different players that are coming in who can make just as much as an impact.
Well, and players with fresh legs, right? That's going to make even more of an impact right now is how do you just kind of come in and play as if you hadn't just played 40-some minutes? Galhouse is trying to see her teammate upfield in Talia Fegan. But throw in for Charleston as that one goes off of Elon.
Now you see when Fagan comes in, Galhouse is moving back into that left back position for Dan Green. So again, taking more on a defensive role here, changing up that Elon offensive attack, but still being in a position she can help out up that left side.
Well, it forces Charleston to have to make some adjustments, right? No timeout or anything to make that adjustment too, but to see it and have to work around it, something they have been very good at. We just saw them make the adjustment too with the change in position, but it was a good read and adjustment from the team as a whole. Charleston throw in again from the right side. I mean, Mia, we've been saying the same thing time and time again, but it's really been a good game for both teams defensively. They have read the offensive scheme of their opponent time and time. It's like we're watching replays of what they've been doing.
We talked for the Phoenix, never let in more than 2 goals defensively. But you think about Charleston too. The only game that they let in 3 goals was against UNC Wilmington, who is top in the conference right now. So both teams who have done a great job defensively, especially against some of those hard teams.
Jess Beck trying to battle. Really good job to almost put her foot on the top of the ball, keep it in bounds. But she was battling 2 Charleston defenders there as well.
That one's just going to be a foul by Fagan. When you're in the air, you're kind of more of that defensive player, so any contact's normally going to go the opposite way. And we just saw Stan Kunis really go up to try to head it out, and Fagan did a great job of trying to get back, but ended up hitting her while she was in the air, so gets called for the foul there.
Almost tried to box her out and I think pull her down at the same time. Wasn't able to corral that, though, in a clean manner. Nonetheless, Elon will try to get the ball back here. We have a player down towards the middle. It looks like it's Gabby Hoshak, but she's just trying to struggle her way up here. A player that you don't want to kind of see down, but she's actually going to take a seat and actually take a breath here. Not too sure what happened, but it looks like she's grabbing at her leg.
Yeah, originally it looked like when she was going down, maybe caught an elbow or something to her back, but it looks like she's grabbing more of her hip area, a little bit above her leg. So just while she was going down, gets hit in that back with that knee. So just a lot of pressure, especially on the part of your leg that you need to keep running, to keep moving. So just getting super tight, tries to walk it off here, but grimacing a little bit from the pain.
Well, all important that she's just kind of up and moving is outside of her just being a star player for Elon, she is an all-around great student athlete, makes such a difference in the Elon community. So good that she is up and all is good with her as well as she tries to shake this one on off. Just below 6 minutes here. Charleston trying to put some pressure on Elon offensively. 6 shots apiece to their name. 4 shots on goal for the Cougars, though. That's not surprising as we've seen them take more and more shots every single game this season. Elon's been challenged more times. Like we said, 4 saves that Katie Bisgrove has had to put forward for her squad. Head coach Neil Payne telling his squad to stay up on it. Don't give too much space. Really kind of hang with your teammate as there's a cross towards the inside, but secured there by Ashley Brio. A little bit of miscommunication, but it'll kind of stay in the hands of Murdoch. Really good communication there, but there's going to be a foul on the Cougars. Almost wonder if it was a bit of a push behind.
And we saw Jess Beck going to lay off that pass and just gets clipped in the back of her leg when she lets it go. Again, you're trying to go for the ball, but when you get all of the players' legs, it's going to be a foul.
But Elon will take this bit of a stop here and a free kick to collect themselves, take a breath, and now look forward. A good offensive opportunity here to maybe get something going. Brio sails this one in towards the middle. Chun comes all the way out, kind of volleyball taps it out and over. Retreats back, though, to her net and her goal, and is able to grab that one off the bounce.
And that's what we've seen from Chun throughout the day, is that in any of those really opportunities for the Phoenix, she's not making the grab. Instead, she's trying to punch it out, which allows for those second chance opportunities. So great job by the Phoenix to keep the pressure up and try to get a second chance.
Some up-close defense there as Maggie Heffernan kind of took the hit pretty hard, but she shook that one off. It's going to be a corner for Elon, though, as the last tap out was from Charleston. Eva Hellner is going to try to drive something in, try to attack the defense a little bit here. This one has sailed a little too far right and a bit in no man's land for Elon offense.
And if you're the Phoenix, it's a great job to get some of those opportunities, especially at the corner, those free pieces that they're normally very good at. So nothing, again, has been able to come out of them, but it at least gives them opportunity to settle down, not going through as fast of play, and try to get something going against this Charleston defense.
And I think if you're Coach Neil Payne and you're looking now towards the second half, you ask yourself, how does my squad, how do we turn those 5 corners into an opportunity of some sort, right? We did a great job of getting the ball all the way down there and really working the offense. Okay, we've put 2 shots on goal up, but how do we get those in the right area that's challenging Chun a little bit more than just the save off the bounce?
And you wonder, was his thought, okay, we're going in this game to tie, and if we get a chance, go for those goals, or are we playing more of that offense to win the game? Again, sometimes even when you know you're going to tie, you take a little bit off the gas. You try to play more defensively and conservatively. We see the Phoenix really going for those opportunities, and they've been there, so maybe is that conversation, we know we can get the opportunities, let's see what we can put away.
Well, truthfully, I think anyone who was coming in knowing a little bit about Charleston and Elon knew that this probably wasn't going to be a high-scoring game, right? It was going to be a game of a lot of defense and potentially a goal break here and there. But it was really just going to be about who's going to push more, because it's 2 teams with a lot of grit. Gelhaus is trying to direct traffic, pointed up the field there. She won't be able to grab the ball, though. It was just a miscommunication between her and Hellner. Charleston trying to send it up, but Hoshak is the one who takes it back. Kind of stutters here, is able to get it all the way up, but again, Chun will come all the way out, just kind of low squat and grab it.
And that's what we talked about with both teams playing a higher line defensively. It makes it so that if you are getting those passes through, you don't have as much time to react to it. So there's only that small space between the top of the 18 and where the back of Charleston is standing. So if anything isn't exactly where you want the pass, then Chun's able to come out and make that easy stop.
Well, Charleston's got an opportunity of their own here, but every time the Elon defense is there, this time just led by Talia Feigen. So it's really been the same story, right? It's been the same storyline that we've seen over and over again of who's just going to be the leader on this defensive stop. Trying to move something upfield just a little bit. Charleston's pointing their hands in their direction, and they will retain possession. Feigen was the one who said, wait, I thought that was our ball. And as the buzzer sounds and we hit zeros here across the clock, it'll stay zeros on the scoreboard. Mia, run me through just some initial thoughts before we hit the half.
I think this is a lot what we thought was going to happen today, with Charleston getting a lot of those early opportunities, but the Phoenix also doing a great job getting their shots as well. So all we can really hope is that both teams have found some offensive success, but neither have been able to convert so far. So it's really going to see who can keep that pressure on and if either defense starts to break.
Well, a second half that's going to mean a whole lot when we come back after this. Make sure to stick around for that Abby Brinkner package, and then we'll be back to run you through some postseason implications. 0-0, still your score here from Rudd Field.
Hi, my name is Abby Brinker. I'm a freshman and I'm on the Elon women's soccer team. I think I was 4 years old. I was on the Pink Flamingos for my little Mevin rec. I just really loved it. My parents threw me in every sport imaginable, which now that I look back on, I love. I played multiple sports up until high school, until soccer got really competitive, and it just became the sport that I wanted to do, I gravitated towards. So Elon wasn't really a school I was looking at from June 15th, which was the first day we could talk to college coaches. I really didn't know exactly what I wanted. I was stressing to my mom always about where I was gonna go, what we wanted. My mom's very much a spreadsheet person, so she created a bunch of categories, and I would pick what I wanted in each category. Some of them were like size of school, distance from home, stuff like that, and then it would like spit out a list of all the ones that fit into the categories. And so Elon never really came up just because it's a school that's so close to home. I didn't even really think about it. Until my coach texted me one day and said that Sean was at one of our summer league games and was interested in talking to me. I ended up reaching out and we had a conversation, and it was awesome. He invited me on a visit and I came over here. On my visit, it was pouring down rain. And I knew when I got home that I still loved it, and it was pouring down rain, and I had never gone on a visit somewhere else where I reacted the same even when it was the most beautiful day outside. And even my parents said the same, that they kind of knew just by my reaction that it was going to be the place that I ended up. I love being close to home, even though I would never admit that to their faces. But I told them I was never coming home, but then I've been home multiple times. It's awesome. The beginning of the transition to college soccer was hard, not in a bad way, but it was just hard, and so sometimes I would go home just to see my dogs, which was awesome. I would bring the other freshmen home so they could see some dogs, because I knew they missed theirs and their family, and so it's awesome being close to home, and if I forget something, I can just run over there. So, I mean, I play against people that were on that Eastern team in the CAA, which is awesome to see them. My grandparents come to all my games, my parents come to all my games. My high school coaches, who were both second and third dads to me. I grew up with them. I played with their daughters since I was 4 until we graduated high school. They were my best friends. They come to my games. It's just awesome to see the community and friends that I built at home and their parents and sort of that structure follow me and support me wherever I go. My friends and family were there, and it was just awesome. It was kind of surreal. It felt like everything went in slow motion after I headed the ball. It felt like it took 10 seconds for the ball to get in the goal. And then I kind of didn't know what to do. I just looked around and started jumping up and down. And it felt like I kind of began to prove myself, because I didn't expect anything coming in, and that just sort of showed that I can.
The CAA is committed to educating its student athletes and fans on mental health awareness.
Studies have shown that nearly 1/3 of student athletes struggle with their mental health.
Less than half feel comfortable seeking help.
If you are experiencing a mental health condition, please know that you are not alone.
Some things we do for our mental health are go outside,
Read and run.
Go to the beach. Hanging out with my teammates.
For more information on mental health resources, please visit ncaa.org.
Let's talk about SAC.
SAC stands for Student Athlete Advisory Committee.
We get to connect between teams, communities, administration, the CAA conference, and the NCAA.
Our group is comprised of student athletes from different sports who represent the voice, opinions, concerns, and interests of our group.
CAA SAC provides an opportunity to enhance our leadership abilities.
We make an impact on our team.
We make an impact on our campuses.
We make an impact in our communities.
We are CAA SAC.
As halftime is still approaching here, and as we still kind of sit and wait for players to come out of their respective huddles, take a look at the fans of Rudd Field. A lot of fans out today, Mia, looking at a game today, still sitting at 0-0, but a lot of postseason implications we'll talk about in a minute, but it has been a sequence of saves. I mean, really, the entire first half was just save after save after save, and I think that is a testament to the excellent defense that has just been on display today throughout the entire match. Again, Grace Stetler and Mia Zebley as we take a look at just this sequence of saves put together by our Sports Vision crew during the half. I mean, look at the defense that was here. We saw an early foul that could have been. Nothing was called, though, on the defense on Gelhaus, but really, Mia, it's been nothing offensively too much, but the defense has been also present.
And I say a lot of times you think of saves as, oh, the defense did really well, but not just credit to the defense, credits to the goalies. Both goalies have had to make some unbelievable saves. Visgro has 4, had to get her hand on them, otherwise they were going into the back of the net. So a great job on both sides, but both these teams really have been able to find different ways to get stuff going offensively, and it's because of the defense and those goalies that no one has scored yet.
There's been moments of excitement where Bisgrove has had to come all the way out, or Chun has had to come all the way out, but you'll take a look at our stats here, and this really is what speaks for itself. 6 shots apiece, 4 shots on goal for Charleston, which we had expected as they typically take more. The fouls, it's been a pretty clean game. 3 for Charleston, 2 for Elon. Elon has had more opportunities offensively, though, with the corners. No offsides calls, so really, overall, a very clean game, just not effective on the stat sheet in the scoring columns. I think the corners, though, is what you got to highlight. Elon's had more opportunities down low, just hasn't been able to produce.
And you think about that, both teams having similar areas, similar strengths, but it's really just the composure that both teams have had. Again, no fouls, no offsides. The fouls being more of those limited, nothing too crazy that we've seen on either side. So just being able to handle that pressure, not give the other team such a big gap to take an opportunity from.
Well, as we still have the minute, we'll take a look at what the standings look like currently for the CAA. You'll take a look at what they look like in this new North and South Division breakdown. Elon sitting in that 2nd place, and you'll see College of Charleston down at that 4th place. Mia, talk to me a little bit about, in case you missed it at the beginning of the game, what do the postseason implications look like? Why does today's game matter? And what is William & Mary currently sitting at?
So for the South Division, 3 teams will make playoffs. UNC Wilmington and William & Mary have already clinched their spot. William & Mary's seeding determines on their game today, so right now they are currently leading 1-0 over Hampton. If they continue with that lead today, they will clinch the number 2 spot. The number 3 spot will go to whoever wins the game here between Elon and Charleston, but there are some scenarios that Elon or Charleston could claim that number 2 seed. Most of them coming, though, if William & Mary does lose today. So that game will be important to see if Hampton can come back, get that game to either a win or a tie for them. But overall, right now, we're sitting that whoever wins this game will be the number 3 seed for the South.
So a lot of different things coming into today's game, a lot of different scenarios. Mia explains it perfectly. It's simple. You win and you're able to kind of control what your destiny more so looks like if with that postseason. William & Mary, we're going to keep you posted on as that game progresses. But again, that 1-0 lead for them currently. So that's definitely going to also come into play as this progresses as well. See the kite flying high. It's been at every single Elon game this season and in seasons past. It's an Elon women's soccer tradition. So you take a look at it blowing in the wind. Shows a little bit of the chill. See some winter coats out today, but definitely warmer in the sun here. It's an excellent lot of all-arounds for both teams on the field today, but people are set and ready. Everybody is prepared for the second half, composed and coming out of the half ready for what this is going to offer. A lot going on here, and we're excited to be along with you. Again, Grace Stetler and Mia Zebley here for the final game of the 2025 regular season as Charleston is trying early to push the pace a little bit offensively. When we talked about it, it looked a lot more like offensively Elon did a lot more, right, with their corners and the opportunities that they gave themselves, but it was really just a defensive show. We saw a lot of pressure put on from the back line, but also just the cluster of all the different plays that were taking place. We talked about it, but the corners, Mia, there wasn't really even an opportunity because it was just such a cluster of players towards the middle.
You see that on offense, both teams sending up as many people as they can. So on those scenarios, you're really just trying to get the ball out and hoping that, okay, maybe we send a cross, we send a corner in a little bit lower towards people's feet, that since there are so many people inside that 18, that even if it's not your player that sends it in, you can get a wild bounce or something towards the net.
Well, it's interesting. You'll see it on the next time that the corner comes into play, but it's really just almost that they fill the box. As Hoshak hits the floor, no foul is called. Play will continue, but they're just trying to put as many players inside to make it hard for any offensive movement to happen within that box. A battle in that low corner, going to stay in Elon's possession. Last touch by Charleston. quick little throw in there. Murdoch trying to work that low line, but wasn't able to get anything going. It'll still stay in Elon's possession. Charleston coming out with some very pressured type defense early on.
You see, this is again more of that starting lineup that we saw to start the game. You have Gelhaus back up on that left wing. The Phoenix attacking more of this right side right now. Murdoch there trying to just get something going, maybe get a corner, trying to bounce off her own defender. Wasn't able to get anything going there. But the Phoenix really trying to keep possession and work both of these outsides to get a cross or a shot off.
Again, Gelhaus sends this one inside, but just way over the back of the goal. I mean, there are two teams we talked about. A clean game overall, right? Only 3 fouls for Charleston and 2 for Elon. So playing some very clean soccer here. But there are a series that's seen each other a lot as well. The Phoenix and the Cougars have met at least once every season since 2014. They're 7-2-1 in Elon in those last 10 meetings. So a very familiar CAA matchup here on display for especially that last game of the 2025 season.
And Elon holds just that narrow lead, 5-4-1 in home matches, and they've won the last 2 here at Rudd Field. So really trying to use that home field advantage, especially with all the fans that they have here today, to make it into the postseason.
For two teams that really control what their next couple of weeks will look like, whether that's playing or not, they really are both playing as if this is just a normal mid-season type game, which I think is very impressive, right? Maintaining their composure, not playing like they're under pressure, rather playing as if this is just another opportunity for a win.
And that's one of the biggest skills that you can have as an athlete, not letting it get to you. You've played 16, 17 games already this season, so you're not trying to do anything different. You're trying to build on what you've already done and what you've already accomplished. So not worrying too much about those small details, but playing loose and playing confident in your ability based on everything you've already done.
Well, I think they're really looking deep into their resume, right? They dug through the files of each of their players, and they've really built a resume among every single member who is really skilled for today's game, and they're prepared for what it's going to look ahead as. There's a quick Elon throw in. Gelhaus trying to get something going, but it's good defense on the opposing side from number 24 in Malone. Another quick throw, and this time, though, it's to Hoshak. But, I mean, the defense, Mia, it's about 1 to 2 inches off as there's a quick send-in towards the inside. A bit of commotion. Chun had to come all the way out. She's trying to retreat back to her goal. And that's going to stay in Elon's possession here. A moment, though, of worry for Chun as she kind of got caught, wasn't able to come back in.
And you see just that Murdoch able to get a little bit off of it. Brio ends up kind of sending it out of the way that Chun was trying to go for. Again, this one just goes over the line, so nothing to come of it. But that little miscommunication of it was Chun going to be able to get under it, and her being down, especially far away from the goal, could have set up some disaster for the Cougars.
Chun with a little bit of panic there as she kind of got stuck. Nonetheless, though, Elon will try to send it in. But a violation here, I believe, and that's going to be taken away. An offensive opportunity taken away there from Elon.
And there's some off-ball foul, either a push or something by someone for the Phoenix, just makes it so instead of any look on that opportunity, it gives Charleston the ball back.
I mean, thinking about each halftime, we were seeing both teams respectively huddled together, right? Elon came out of their locker room, Charleston over huddled in that lower corner. What do you think the conversation was? We'll start with Charleston from their head coach and what was going on.
I mean, if you're Charleston, you know you need to win this game. So you've already seen you've done some things defensively to really stop and make the Phoenix try to do other moves. And offensively, you've been able to get those shots off. So really just making sure that you're keeping control of that midfield. Charleston plays more up the center wall. The Phoenix play up more the wings. So if Charleston can get possession of the ball, especially in that center, top of the 18, they can get those shots off that they're used to having and try to get 1 or 2 goals to fall for them.
I think for Charleston, the big opportunity is, too, we've been playing really good defense against a team who has been on a streak of being able to put up some points, right? And they've held them to no points here. I'll ask you the opposing question now, which is obvious and coming. What was the conversation in Elon's huddle?
I think for Elon, it's being aware of what you need to do for the postseason. You don't want to change your game that you would normally play, but being a little bit more conservative in the attempts you're taking.
Well, Dever with the opportunity here. Bubbles Dever tried to break towards the inside, and she will. That one was tapped a couple of times, a few touches from a couple of different Charleston players, but it was Katie Bisgrove who cleared out her defense and says, I've got it, and moves them all the way down the field.
And that's one of those scary scenarios for the Phoenix. Again, you're sending numbers forward because you've gotten those opportunities to get some looks off. But your number one priority is to make sure you have people back on defense and make it hard for the Cougars. So little miscommunication, mistouch there by the Phoenix. Almost set up a really scary opportunity. But again, great defense, great job by Bisgrove to call out for that one and able to just reset and look for the next opportunity.
Brio tried to work her way around, but she was grabbed there by the defense in Charleston. It's going to give an opportunity for a free kick here from Elon. We believe up here in the booth that it could have been from number 4 in Bubbles Dever, who had the run down the field all of a minute or two ago. But too much contact is what's going to be called on that one. So Brio with the opportunity here to direct some traffic. Taps it towards the inside, a little left, and just nothing there. A couple of Elon players hit the ground, but nothing was called, and it just, again, was an opportunity where there just wasn't anything to do.
That's what the Phoenix have been trying to do all week, get those cross, get those corners, get those free kick opportunities, but just because they're playing more defensively, they don't have as many numbers inside, and it's hard to always guess where the ball is exactly going to go, so they're not always able to have a body on the other side.
Well, it's been very effective defense from Charleston, right? Not trying to play too close, but not playing too far back either. They've done a very good job of just kind of holding themselves to where they are, and knowing that players like a Gelhaus or like a Murdoch, they can surge forward. You don't want to lose them on the run. A throw in here for Charleston and a boot towards the inside. Slimmer tries to control it, taps it to her teammate on the outside, a kick towards the inside and just hits the back of the net and almost just skated there, and Katie Bisgrove watched it go by.
That's Wenner on the outside again. Might be a shot, might be a cross, but has that power that it's going to make it hard for either Bisgrove to try to contain, or if a defender is trying to bounce it out, could go off someone. So a great job by the Cougars to really start attacking that outside and try to get something going for them.
35 minutes here now. The clock will begin to become a factor as it dips lower and lower. Again, we'll keep you posted on William and Mary's score, and we'll kind of keep you posted on those implications as we near the end. But with 35 minutes left, the defense has still been the name of the game. Antonio tries to put some moves on, but Gelhaus just sits and waits. Tries to tap it out. She's going to chase down the defender in the left corner. Again, it was the same exact thing we just saw. Just was trying to hook right, but couldn't and sat left.
And there's Charleston trying to make some differences, focusing more on playing up that right side instead of the middle that they did in the first half, showing that there's been some changes that they've had, some talk at halftime to see, okay, what we're doing isn't working. What else can we do to get a better opportunity?
Well, in the first 10, 12 minutes or so, we've seen them offensively work the right-hand side. Really no action on this left-hand side as there's a bit of a breakaway from Antonio, who falls as she tries to kick it. And I think a foul was called, and that's going to give Charleston a really good opportunity here offensively.
And if you're the Phoenix, you're going to be a little upset because you think this is similar to that Gelhaus one earlier, but Pierce just ends up being on the back. You see the extension of her arm. Again, just pushing her arm away. You don't see exactly what's happening, but Antonio celebrating that they called it. This one just outside the box, though, so it's going to be a free kick back where the contact was made by Pierce, not where she ended up following through. So about 20-25 yards out here for the Cougars.
One of the bigger opportunities here, they're going to take a minute to even just kind of talk about it as a team before they get themselves set up. This is going to be a big stance for Elon if they can defensively hold it. One of the closer fouls that we've seen drawn today.
They stop the clock for that. Pierce going to get a yellow card again. That's just a scoring opportunity, so any type of foul that halts that process normally is going to get the card on it.
On the stopped clock means a lot too. As Antonio tricks it up, she tries to tap it inside. A couple of players will have the touch, but really good defense there from Elon. Players are pointing both ways, and they're going to say it was last touch on Charleston. So there's that defensive stop that means a whole lot for Elon.
Both teams were calling that they had it. The refs took a second, looked at each other of, okay, what actually did happen, but it ends up being called that Phoenix goal kick. So great job being able to erase that last play mentality off the free kick and be able to get the ball back now.
But we'll call that one textbook defense, right? No foul, stay where you are and wait for it. Let the last touch be on Charleston. Really good stance there from the Phoenix. Gelhaus tries to work that left sideline, but wasn't able to do all too much. Charleston's moving with some motion here, not waiting all too much on that throw and trying to work with numbers.
The Phoenix haven't really been able to get out of their own defensive zone after those first few minutes of this half. Charleston applying the pressure, keep looking for those cracks in that defense and trying to get something offensively.
I mean, as a whole, Mia, the big thing has been they've worked the left sideline. From us, the far sideline, they have completely worked. We really haven't seen anything offensively on this right sideline as there was a foul called. And again, Charleston with the opportunity of the free kick.
You see Hoshak there trying to help play defense. Looks like she gives her a little shoulder up onto that defensive player. So, again, more of that off-ball foul, but the ref just seeing it and stopping the Phoenix's progress.
A good breakthrough here from Brio. Brio gets it over to Murdoch. They're going to tap it back and forth between Murdoch and Dumare. Again, a couple of players collide. The refs have not been foul friendly, we'll say it today. They're just letting them play it through. Antonio sends that one up, but a good stop here from defense, but an opportunity here for Charleston as Winner, our player to watch, tries to set it up. But again, a good stop from that Elon backline. Hoshak trying to get something going. She's going to send it over to Gelhaus, who just almost ricochets it off of the defender of Malone. We talked earlier in the game that it was Ray on the right side, flipped to the other side. It's been Malone who stuck to her like a magnet.
Malone just has been doing a great job for this Charleston back line. Also has been able to come up a little, playing more of that midfield spot to help them build out of the back. So a great job by her, especially on these last few attempts by the Phoenix.
And a bit of a pull down there as something is tapped towards the inside, but nothing too much happens. It was actually, it looked like it almost could have been a foul between Dwyer and her defender, but nothing was called. Nonetheless, nothing happens, and Brio tries to run with it. Gelhaus has got it now. She makes a move and had the space. Could she keep it on the inside? Yes, but Chun was there before.
You saw Gelhaus trying to call for it in between. Pass ends up being a little short. Able to get around her defender on the outside, but her touch just a little bit too far. Even if she did get there, didn't seem like anyone was there inside the box for the cross. So a good look by the Phoenix, just not able to connect on anything.
Well, Hoshak is going to come out, and Jess Beck is going to come in. We saw her come in late towards the end with about 9 minutes or so in that first half. So being put back in now with about 29 minutes left. So she's trying to make a bit more of an impact here. Charleston's got some numbers here. A bit of a runaway offensively. Can the back line do the same from Elon? Yes, a little bit they will. Playing some good defense on that far side. Really good stop there from number 14 in Jessica Hill.
And that's something we've seen all day, really containing their attacker on defense. They're not going for any lunges, really making any moves to let the attack play off them. They're staying underneath, and when the opportunity comes, putting their foot out, getting that pass off, but doing a great job containing and making it so that there's no easy outlet or easy way for any Cougars to get around them.
Well, almost just waiting to see what her next move is going to be, right? Sit back, sit, and wait, and then make the move. That's key from a defender. A throw in from the far side in Charleston. But again, it almost just seems like it's a brick wall on both sides that the ball is just bouncing off of defensively. Brio looks up the field. Neil Payne said one more. She tried to get it up, but it was stopped quicker by Guazdo. Bit of a battle here on Elon's side. But I mean, Mia, this is going back and forth offensively and defensively. Murdoch starts to make her way up the field. She's trying to cut towards the middle, but has to run parallel. Can she make the cut in Gelhaus? No, Gelhaus won't be able to get it, but it's going to, I believe, stay Elon possession.
And that's what the Phoenix have been trying to do. Murdoch not able to see anything up the middle, instead plays it out to Gelhaus, who takes her time, sees that she's about to get double, triple teamed, so instead of trying to do anything too crazy, able to just play it off of her defender, let Elon get their attack up the field, and try to get something from a corner here.
Another corner opportunity here. This time the leader is Hellner, who will take it. Gonna send it in. A couple of Elon players fell down. It was kept by Elon towards the middle, but the maroon jerseys are plentiful. A bit of a challenge here. Chun comes all the way out. And everybody is kind of putting their hands up here. There was a lot going on there defensively.
You can see the fans calling for a foul. Normally, what happens in those scenarios is if the goalie gets possession of the ball and there is any contact, you always give it to the goalie. But in that one, it looked like Jess Beck had the more space in front. There was already no contact by Chun on the ball. Instead, all of the contact looks like Chun runs into Beck's legs. But again, nothing called for the Phoenix there down in the 18.
Another call that, again, the refs are just letting each team play through. I think they're looking for some of the more obvious fouls, which that one the Elon faithful thought was obvious enough.
You never want a good game to get dictated by what a ref calls, but in these scenarios you always wonder, are they letting stuff go that would normally get called?
There are still Elon fans who were looking at each other and saying that was a foul. But again, it's just been this defense. It looked for a second like the maroon jerseys had taken over. This time it's the white jerseys that are taking over as Antonio tries to make a move, but she is approached by so many Elon jerseys, and a quick stop right there. Really good stop from the Elon backline.
And this is those scenarios where if you're the Phoenix, you have to play on that next play mentality. You wanted to get a call, but complaining or doing anything about it isn't going to change what happened. So instead, you need to make sure that you're staying composed and getting ready now defensively for an opportunity for the Cougars.
A couple of subs coming in and out, both for Charleston and for Elon. So something to keep an eye on is just the adjustments that are continually occurring, trying to bring some fresh legs in here. But Antonio with the opportunity for her team from the corner. Sails it in, it's low, and Elon just kind of sits and waits, but Charleston will keep the possession in her hands. That time, though, it was just Beck who says, I'm sailing this one out. And that time that's going to be called. That's going to be an Elon free kick, as it looked like Gelhaus was just completely tripped up.
And again, that's the speed we see from Gelhaus, able to beat her defender. You see the slide tackle come in by Dever. Again, not making contact with the ball, more just making that contact with Gelhaus. So Phoenix not able to get that fast play that they wanted, but a free kick now.
You got to keep everything clean, especially as this clock begins to tick downward. You don't want to just pose some harder fouls to stop the clock here. Trying to keep everything moving, but Murdoch is trying to do something for her team here on the offensive side. Taps it towards the inside, just nobody there. Chun came all the way out like a wide receiver and just grabbed that ball.
And that's what we've seen with Chun all day. Wasn't able to always make that first exact connection with the ball and catch it right out of the air. That one we saw go through a little, gets more of that second bounce. So a great look by the Phoenix to make her have to play the ball in hopes you can get something else going from any of those second chance looks.
Well, truthfully, Chun hasn't really had to dive a whole ton to save a ton of shots, right? We've seen a couple where she's had to go and lay on top of the ball to grab it with some physicality, but Bisgrove was challenged a whole ton in that first half. Trying to set her team up in the Cougars is number 19, Slimmer. We saw her put that really challenging shot on towards the beginning of the first half. A tap towards the inside. A really good stop, though, again by Hill. Antonio has it on that left wing. A couple of taps. Tries to trick up her defender as well. But Izzy Arnold is the one who sends it back. I mean, they are passing it back and forth. This one is hooked, though, and Bisgrove just sits, waits, and then falls on it.
We saw Slimmer there trying to maybe catch Bisgrove off guard. More different Cougar players were the ones more involved in that offensive set. So again, just someone who she may have not seen coming, especially with that wall of defense, but the touch just sends it right to Bisgrove in front of the goal.
As Bisgrove sends that one out, it was number 11 again in Arnold, who just sailed forward and kept the ball in their half of the field for the Cougars. Antonio tracks it down, keeps it in bounds. They're trying to just break inside the box, Mia. We haven't seen it from either team at all, and it's because of just short little taps like that.
And a great job by the defense to just keep, like we said, keep that defender in front of them, not take any large touches, which is more why we haven't seen as much in that box, because they know they have to get it off quicker or it's going to get taken and they're not going to have any opportunity in the middle.
Murdoch's got some space, but again, just sails a little high. This one touches the crossbar, actually stays in bounds from a touch of an Elon player, but it's going to be blown dead. Chun's going to get the opportunity to just send this one out. When we got a break, Lauren McCauley from the Phoenix is going to step in for number 7 in Issa Murdoch, so she's going to take a sec. And Lauren McCauley is going to be the next player in, the junior from New Jersey.
And she's been someone who has played now in her 15th game, more coming off the bench. Haven't seen her in the first half, but she adds some of that speed, some of that creativity. So again, the Phoenix trying some different people up top to try to get anything offensively.
And they're just trying to bring in some people with some fresh legs. I'll say it again, right? With a little bit more energy. This hasn't been a game of standing and waiting. It's been a game of chase downs. As on the flip side, got a chase down on Folks in the corner. Good stop there from number 22 and Alexis Pierce of the Phoenix.
Coming into the game for the Cougars is number 33, Millie Cluxton.
Antonio is going to come out for the Cougars, and number 33, Millie Cluxton, is going to come in. So I think what's really evident right now is that both teams are looking down the roster and saying, all right, we got 19 minutes left. Who now are we going to try to pull in?
And you think Antonio did a great job setting up a lot of those offensive opportunities. But again, those fresh legs that you're talking about, she has done so much. So giving her a break and hoping that if you put someone else in like Cluxton, you get something else going and really can keep that pressure on the defensive back line.
Dwyer tried to just get it out of there. They're trying to keep it out of any dangerous territory and any threat towards their teammate in Bisgrove in goal. Beck not able to keep that one inbound, so Charleston's gonna get a throw in a really good area as well.
You saw Beck really had nowhere to go. 3 Cougars able to just kind of swarm her there, able to keep the ball in their possession and really just show how they've been able to maintain possession and keep Elon all the way back in their own defensive zone.
Malone had the throw in, but again, just more white jerseys than maroon. Cougars will keep possession in their hands as they try to work towards the middle a little bit. But again, it's in a player this time like Dumouriez who just has the stop. Malone just is in a miscommunication there with her teammates. Sailed it through the middle, just split the difference between 2 Elon defenders. A couple of more subs now coming in for Elon. Again, just trying to bring in some different members of the roster to see what impact maybe they can make. Is it that a deeper pass downfield? Is that a stronger kick on some legs that haven't been running around? So many different conversations to be had. Dan Green's the one who sailed that out to Beck, but Beck not able to corral it. Folks is the one in the corner now trying to do the dance. Sets some things up, gets a couple of taps, but nothing in her favor there. Elon's got it still. And Beck's the one who has it. Neil Payne is telling them to stay calm, right? Don't play like pressure, right? I mean, as the clock now dips below 17, I think what's going to be interesting is, are they going to start to play rushed, right? Is that going to start to make a bit of an implication at all?
And you say that we're telling the defense to play smart, to take your time. They've been under a lot of this pressure with the Charleston attack really keeping control of the ball. So when the Phoenix get the ball, you don't want to just be kicking it away and letting Charleston get it back, build out of it. You want to take the time you have and really try to set up something for your offense and take some time away from some of those legs of the defenders that have just been working so hard.
Well, if anything, Charleston's going to start to play rush because remember, they need the win, correct? So that's going to start to make a bit of the difference. Elon just has to get the draw, but for that's going to mean how do you continue to play clean the way through?
You've already started to see that with the Cougars having a little bit more of that offensive pressure with those 3 strikers really building up some of their midfield. But if they need more of these opportunities, are they going to start bringing more people up? Are they going to move from 4 in the back to only 3? And in those scenarios, if the Phoenix can stay calm and composed, they can get some more of these transition, these turnover points, and really play off of what the Cougars are doing.
Right now, protecting the ball is a big thing for the Phoenix. How do you keep it not only just on your side, but when it gets towards that other side, keep it away from Bisgrove and her goal? Again, another sub here now for the Cougars. Number 15, Emma Warner, is going to come in for number 7 in Caroline Folks. Warner had that lone goal of the game in their last matchup, so she was someone who obviously made the difference in the Cougars' last game at home and got them that win. So I'm sure Neil Payne and his coaching staff are going to have an eye on her throughout the rest of the match. Elon is just backing all the way up here. A little bit of pressure put on from Charleston. Kristen Mitchner and his coaching staff is saying, move up, move up. The ball's going to get all the way back there. That's an opportunity for you to break through. Trying to break through here is Avery Nassetta. Warner's got it now. Taps it towards the middle. Really good defensive stop. That's number 5 in Dwyer. No foul called, but just taps it out. The ball goes flying. Elon's got it. And it looks like Warner is still down on the other side of the field, so Elon does have more numbers. I don't know if the refs see that she's still down. Nothing has been called to stop the clock.
A lot of times you can't call it until your team has possession left. So you heard from the Phoenix sideline, keep the ball. You know you're going to be man up. So if you can keep control and can't let Charleston get anything on it, you're going to have a chance like this here where you're man up. But now with the pass and Charleston able to get possession, now you're going to have to call, like we saw from the refs, stop play and really now go check on that.
And now the clock is going to be stopped, so 13:44 is left. That was a huge opportunity for the Phoenix, a couple of taps. The concern right now, though, is for, again, our player to watch in Emma Warner. You got to take a look at it here. This is, I think, where the injury was. It was in the stop from number 5 in Dwyer.
Yeah, it looked like Dwyer, while she was trying to kick the ball out, Warner was kind of turning, didn't see her on the back, and just Dwyer following through with the kick, ends up falling. Looks like she either gets caught up and hits Warner in the back, or just Warner on that turn ended up getting a little bit of that contact. So now just checking out her. Both teams regrouping, trying to just make sure that they understand what they have to do here in these next 14 minutes.
Well, and this is a chance for Elon to also kind of take a breath, right? Take a stop and talk about what's their game plan going to look like for the rest of the match. Is that just strong defense all the way through? As we take another look right here, and this is kind of going to show a bit more of this contact, right? I think her foot was stepped on and she kind of rolled it a little bit, and I think that's why she was down. She was really having a hard time getting up.
Again, normally you're trying to stand on both feet, but we just saw Dwyer ends up getting caught on that left side, takes around her left calf down, so comes unbalanced, either gets clipped or just with the way she falls. Still down now on the pitch, so looks to be something a little bit more serious than originally thought, but both teams just taking this time to make sure they're getting water, getting a break, and getting some words from their coaches.
And Elon's already starting to take their steps out back onto the field. I think for them and for the Cougars, the big thing is just kind of keep moving, right? You don't let this trying to set them all a little too much, right? Because if you stop completely, you almost worry a little bit about, right, is this too much of a quote-unquote break, right, to keep it moving? Warner is up, but she really can't put any pressure on that foot. They took the shoe off completely as well as the Phoenix faithful are cheering for her. Really good news, though, that she's able to get up and walk that one off.
Yeah, and like you were saying, you've already played 76 minutes of this game, so you don't want to come in as a coach and say, okay, we're now going to do this, this, and this. You want them to know that everything they have done, they've done well. So you don't want to talk too much. You want to let them stay in the mood that they are in, make sure that they're doing what they have been doing, and more just let them play and talk amongst each other instead of having too much instruction to try to set them off.
Grace Gelhaus will come back in, this time for number 16 in Dan Green, who will take a step off for a second. And Gelhaus with the opportunity from this right corner. Elon's 7th corner of the game. To Charleston's only got 4. Gelhaus sails it in a little far left, a couple of taps, headed in, not able to secure it towards the back of the net. Elon still got it in their hands, but Charleston is going to do the same old thing and tap it on out.
That was a great opportunity for the Phoenix there with Gelhaus as the lefty, getting more of that curling look in. We got some heads. We got Chun was out of position. You saw McCauley get a head on it, but just that defensive back line playing more of that goalie position for the second and able to clear it out for the Cougars.
More subs coming in. Antonio comes back in, and number 2 in Lily Ray comes back in. So they get the breather for a minute, and they're going to take a step back on the field the last 13 minutes and 15 seconds. couple of taps, but again, it just seems like there's a bit of a struggle right now for Charleston to try to break down Elon's defense. And for Elon, I think their big thing is going to be how can they just maintain the defense that they need the rest of the game. A throw in towards the middle, but just nothing there. The white jerseys are just outnumbering the maroon jerseys when it looks at any form of offense for the Cougars. Playing ping pong here. They're going back and forth, just sending it back and forth. Charleston definitely had more offensive opportunities, especially down low, but on the flip side, Elon with an opportunity of their own just a couple minutes ago. Gelhaus trying to get it out of that corner and up to another teammate. Charleston trying to do something towards the middle, but Bisgrove will come all the way out. A huge collision between Bisgrove and Antonio. And now we're going to stop the clock. That was a really tough hit. You got to take a look at it here. Bisgrove comes all the way out. Antonio cuts across, and they just completely collide.
And again, a crazy hit, but it is all legal. Bisgrove going for the ball, had control. It was just while she was in the air, Antonio was underneath her. So maybe trying to see if they get maybe just the wind knocked out of her. But again, a big collision. Bisgrove walked away because she knew she was in the right there. But again, just a scary moment for everyone to just see the collision, even though there won't be anything called.
I mean, incredible strength here from Antonio. You got to give her a lot of credit. She was down for a second as she took a lot of that. Call it a collision, and she's able to just kind of shake that one off. So you got to give a lot of credit to her and to Bisgrove as well. But I mean, you can tell that it's the end of the CAA season and that the intensity is increasing.
You can see she shook it off, but as she was getting away, gave the thumbs up to Bisgrove to make sure she was okay. Both of them just explaining, okay, we're both good. Let's get back into this game.
Trying to surge was Fijan, but she wasn't able to secure it or corral it. Ref kind of had to back up on that one, as Hoshak is just trying to see the field here a little bit, give themselves an opportunity to go up by a point or get something towards the middle. But again, there's another stop. This time, though, it's number 12 in Emma Stankunas. Hands will fly, though, as there's a foul this time on Charleston. Gelhaus went flying.
You can see Gelhaus has had that pressure all day long. Charleston sending two did a great job beating her defender on the quick little turnaround. Some great moves from her, but again, just that clip. Charleston's done that a few times. They're trying to really stick their foot out and go for the ball, but with the speed of the Phoenix and Gelhaus, by the time their foot gets there, all they're hitting are Gelhaus's legs. The ball is already completely gone, so it's going to set up a free kick here just short of where a corner would be.
The Phoenix with an opportunity here, trying to get something towards the middle, but they're stuck in this right corner. Right here, that was in number 5, Megan Dwyer, who was really just trapped on the box out from Charleston.
And you saw that she wasn't going to get anything going, so trying to waste a little bit of that time. Again, the Phoenix can advance with a tie here, so taking some of that time to just hold it in the corner for a second, reset now, and start wasting some more of the clock down.
Elon tries to, again, send this one towards the middle. But Charleston working a little bit here. We got a bit of a run towards the left-hand side. It's led by Bubbles Dever. Bubbles Dever sends it over to the corner. That's towards Antonio. Antonio taps it towards the inside. Bisgrove comes out and just lays, hugs, and falls down to the ground.
And again, that awareness by Bisgrove, you saw her have to go out for a few, went out for that one here. A little bit different, more on the ground, but just her ability to read the play and be in the right position is exactly what the Phoenix need.
Well, and you can see Bisgrove is taking her time here, right? I think she's realizing there's really no rush quite yet for her and her squad, but on the opposing side, Charleston is in a bit of a rush.
And again, if you're the Phoenix, 9 minutes left, you know you can advance with that tie. On the other end, you saw Wilman Mary just now got their second goal of the game, so they're up 2-0 with about 10 minutes left. So more now you're playing to make the tournament instead of to be that number 2 seed.
Oh, a quick trip up there from Gelhaus, sends it towards the inside, and Chun just falls on top of it. Gelhaus with a lot of room in front of her, perhaps the most room we've seen on a shot this entire game. Mia, that's the first time we haven't seen that box completely crowded. That's the speed of Gelhaus.
And again, that was just a great move by Gelhaus, again, getting to her left foot. You saw there was some speed in front of her, but a lot of times what has been happening is the defense being able to crash. So she saw the space, had a great look with her left foot to get it off, but again, just not enough power, and Chun made a great save on it.
Well, and with the clock ticking, 7:45 around left in this match, final home game, final regular season game of the 2025 season, as Chun just sailed out in that bright blue jersey and grabbed it. But she's in a bit of a hurry-up pattern here for her squad. Really good job there, though, by number 4 in Ashley Brio, who tried to keep it for her team. Hustle put on by Dever. Dever tries to cut towards the middle, just cannot. Has to send it out towards that right wing in Ray. Ray sends it in the middle, but it's headed out by number 14 in Hill. Charleston just trying to give themselves an opportunity here to try to cut, but you can see that Elon is playing some very high up defense. Bisgrove falls on top of it. That could have been an opportunity there for Charleston, but the white jersey is outnumbered toward the middle.
You saw it went off Hellner. She didn't realize if someone was going to get on it. Antonia was there, I don't think, saw that it got hit down, but just that communication of you don't want to try to kick the ball out of bounds when you're facing away from the goal because you don't know if someone is on your back. So doing a great job just trying to block it off and let Bisgrove collect it.
Good job, though, by Bisgrove to have a heads-up play, right? Stay aware of where the ball is at all times. Good stop there from number 14 in Jess Hill. Almost had the touch in Macaulay, but instead the Cougars got it. Sends it in towards the middle, has the space as Antonio. It was a really good look between Antonio and I believe it was number 19, yes, in Slimmer. Or excuse me, I'm sorry, that was between Dever and Antonio. It was a good hook pass that just didn't drop in time.
And a sigh of relief there for the Phoenix. Again, a great look by Antonio. Thought maybe if she was able to take a touch, but being a little bit far ahead of her, had to slide for it. Got the contact, so great job by Bisgrove to be ready. But again, Antonio went down earlier that time, extended her leg for it, so just have some help come out to make sure she's okay. Looks like they're going to sub her off or just bring her to the sideline for now.
Well, the clock is stopped, 5:43 left. Does look like Antonio might come over and talk to the trainer for a minute. But this is a good opportunity, honestly, for both teams to kind of take a breath and look. You can see number 5 from Elon and Dwyer saying, come up, move up, as they're going to really try to pack this space here. Do not let Charleston get the ball, I can imagine is what the thought is from Payne and crew. This one's sent all the way up past that midfield line. Gelhaus gets tripped up, but she's going to grab it, just hooks it with her foot. She's going to fall. Now we're going to stop the clock again. There was another foul from Charleston. Free kick for Elon.
And that's a great defense there by Gelhaus and Hoshak, able to just really play off of each other, get that ball back in the midfield. Now, another free kick for the Phoenix. The clock not running, so gives them some time to just settle down. set up their offense and try to look for an opportunity.
It's Hoshak who's got the opportunity. A shorter kick over to Murdoch in that far left corner. Murdoch just trying to play box out here and get the tap off of a Charleston defender, and it will.
And that's what Elon's trying to do. Hoshak not really aiming towards the middle of the field, playing it down that corner. Now with the Phoenix and 5 minutes left, you're trying to play more conservative, more defensively to keep the game in this tie. So a great job by Hoshak to see that, and for Murdoch to really start that initiative of taking it to the corner, try to keep the possession as much as you can and get down this clock.
Elon's going to take their time here, though, right? Nothing that they have to really hustle all too much about. The clock is stopped at 5:04, but you can imagine they're almost going to try to play a bit of keep away here. Another Elon player hits the deck, but nothing is called. They're going to send it out to Chun with the goal kick. Elon defense is being applied high. They're moving all the way up past that midfield line, out of bounds, miscommunication from Charleston.
And that's a great job by Megan Dwyer. Again, not being the one to take the ball, but really add that pressure. You can see Charleston starting to get nervous, trying to be a little frantic. So the Phoenix applying pressure, not in a way that they are going to get beat, but in a way that they can try to keep Charleston uncomfortable.
Well, the pressure, you said it exactly, Mia. It's making Charleston a bit uncomfortable here. They realize they're in the hurry-up stages, final stages of this match. And right now, it's not working towards their favor. They're on the wrong side of the field if they want to try to get anything going for themselves.
Phoenix doing a great job of keeping them deep in that corner and making it so that they're the ones getting the throw-ins, that they can take the time to walk over, to get the ball, to put it in, and really just try to waste these final few minutes.
And that's exactly what they're doing. Elon is not doing anything fancy here, just trying to maintain what they've been doing. So we have a stopped clock for a second.
You see the ref starting to see what the Phoenix are doing, that being that third or fourth time of that throw-in, so making sure that they're not wasting too much time and stopping the clock to try to say, hey, that's not going to work.
Again, Elon not looking to do anything crazy here, rather keep the ball away. They'll send it towards the middle here, way over that side of the goal, but Hoshak will keep it and track it down. Lily Ray from the Cougars, though, trying to move it in the right direction. Ray throws it in, but good stop there from Hoshak. Just stuck her foot up and kept it towards the right-hand side. As the bells will sound over Rudd Field, 2:40 left in the regular season for the Cougars and the Phoenix. The Cougars trying to just play some last-minute soccer here. Do they have anything left in the tank to try to find the back of the net? Elon's trying to say no and keep it all in their side of the field. A throw-in, though, here from Charleston's number 24 in Malone. Malone gets it towards the inside. Bisgrove's playing up. Bisgrove has to come up close. And for a second, Charleston thought they could have had it. A really good opportunity there with a lot of players getting a touch.
And a great job by Bisgrove to stay composed on that back line. You saw there might have been a few opportunities she could have tried to come out, but with all the bodies, you don't want to end up moving out of the way and letting something wide open. So waited till that last second to make the save, but did a great job of just staying under it, really stopping any chance of a Cougar attack.
Well, Ray's got it. She tries to sail it towards the inside. It actually bounces off an Elon player, and it'll stay. Neil Payne and his crew were just watching. They're trying to get their team all the way up the field, and that's exactly what number 25 from Elon is going to do. That time it was Dumnaray who just says, we're going to try to push them as far back as possible. Michener is trying to direct traffic here and say move down to the corner, but Elon read it when he was saying it.
Elon just trying to get it out. They don't have anyone up, having all of their 11 players back now on that almost final third for the Phoenix defense, but that's all you need, as many bodies as you can. Just kick the ball out, waste time so that Charleston has to go get it, and really can't find anything towards the bottom third.
And that's the final minute here of play between both squads. So we hit 35 seconds left on the clock. All Elon's got to do right now is keep it over on their side of the field. And I think Michener and his crew know if they're going to do anything, they've got to do it now, and they've got to move fast. 20 seconds left in the 2025 regular season. The Cougars have got to find the back of the net or they're headed home. Charleston's moving quick. 10 seconds left. They've got the throw in, a couple of taps, and that's going to be on the right-hand side as Katie Bisgrove watches. And the Elon crew comes together as clock hits 0-0-0, and our score remains the same. Charleston is headed home, and the Elon Phoenix remain alive. Mia, those last couple of seconds, I think Charleston knew they could have had it.
They were getting those opportunities, able to keep the ball in the Phoenix half most of this second half here, looking for it. But again, they just weren't able to connect on anything. The Phoenix defense standing strong and not being able to let the Cougars up on it. So the Phoenix now will be heading to Williamsburg for the first round of the CAA tournament.
Well, 4-0 was the score from William and Mary's matchup, and because Elon drew the draw here, 0-0, they stay alive. College of Charleston needed the win today as Elon had the tiebreaker, and the College of Charleston Cougars are headed home, but the Elon Phoenix will stay alive and keep on dancing. Like Mia said, they're headed to William and Mary territory to take on William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia. This has been the final game of the 2025 season here from Rudd Field. As you'll see, Elon clinches the playoff. With this tie, Elon advances to the CAA tournament. Mia, it was a game that every second mattered.
Every second mattered and every opportunity. Both sides coming up again, big defensively. Nothing crazy on the offense, but some amazing saves by both goalkeepers. Everyone should be proud of their performance tonight and this season. But overall, the Phoenix coming away with the opportunity to move to the postseason.
Like we said, Elon is going to keep on dancing. It wasn't a game of offense, but it was a whole lot of defense. We had saves, we had fouls, and we had a lot of stops between the Cougars and the Phoenix. But it was the ladies in the white jerseys with the maroon numbers who get the draw today, and they kept themselves alive. I've been Grace Stetler alongside Mia Zebley in the final game of the 2025 regular season for Elon and Charleston. Elon keeps on dancing, and Charleston is headed home. 0-0 your score here from Rudd Field. Thank you and good afternoon from Elon, North Carolina. Elon Phoenix, stay alive.